Yo, what's going on everybody? So today I want to talk to you guys about Shin Uchiha, and I'm gonna keep it real with you, right? Like when Naruto Gaiden came out in 2015, I really didn't like Shin Uchiha. Like, and I'm not talking about like big Shin, I'm talking about like the little Shin Uchiha clones. I really didn't care for them. I got what Kishimoto was trying to do by having big Shin Uchiha look at these different Shin clones and say, oh, I can just use them as different organs and heart donors and everything. I didn't really care for any of that. I got why Kishimoto did it because he wanted to kind of show how Sakura and Sasuke and Naruto view being a parent and show how much they grow. And I totally get it. That's one of the themes that we've seen in the Boruto franchise and especially in the Boruto manga if you guys are reading. So I mean, I get where all that's coming from, right? But at the same time, didn't care for him. But as I was rewatching the Mitsuki depression, or excuse me, the Mitsuki desertion arc, I know somebody's like, he called it the Mitsuki depression arc. I got depressed while I was watching the arc. I feel you, buddy. I wasn't talking like that, right? I actually enjoyed the arc. I felt like that arc had a few things that was really monumental for the series in terms of tackling some very serious topics, whether it be when does life begin? Do all objects have a soul? What is a soul? Who has a soul? What does it mean to have a soul? What does it mean to have a will? There was so much deep stuff that was in there. And even when you look at the meaning behind the different names of like Ku and Seki and all of them, like the meaning behind all their names, it was absolutely brilliant. But as I was rewatching it, one of the things that really struck me is the fact that we saw this earlier on in Naruto Gaiden when it came to what happened with the Shin Uchiha, where you find out that Orochimaru was cultivating all these different Shins, just like he was cultivating Mitsuki. And it's something that never really went away, but everything kind of clicked in the fact that Orochimaru has pioneered a type of science that even people in the Hidden Stone Village, they weren't able to recreate. And it's debatable whether or not Carr has done something like that, but it's something that could be a huge point in the future. But as I was rewatching it and I was thinking, I'm like, wait a second, this opens the door for Shin Uchiha to return at some point in the series. And I want to talk to you guys about whether or not I think it's a good idea. And I'm gonna keep it real with you. I made a topic on this a while back and my stance has completely changed. Like I was hands down against it at first. I was hands down against it. You would have had a better chance, and since this is an opinion video, I don't mind throwing shots at your favorite characters now, but you would have had a better chance of convincing me that Hinata is a top 3 Naruto female when it comes to best written characters. Like you could have convinced me of that before you would have told me it was a good idea to bring Shin Uchiha back. I think this could be brilliant. And the reason why is we've already seen a character in Shin who was viewed as an object in the same way that Inoki viewed all these artificial humans over in the Hidden Stone Village. Well, with Shin, what if we have that moment where they've been living with Kabuto in that orphanage Kabuto runs, where Kabuto is the Mary Poppins of the Naruto universe, where we call him Kabuto Poppins, but where you see all of that. And you see one of these ninja has gotten to the point where he can be acclimated into society, where he has his own personality, where he is starting to ask those same questions that Mitsuki asked. And I'm not saying the whole thing of like, oh, well, have him run from the village too. I'm not saying that. That plot point won't work. But if you see Mitsuki's interactions with a character like that, and you see the fact that Mitsuki had wanted so badly to interact with somebody who was like him, you could have a comrade in Shin Uchiha, and the fact that you have him walking around and he's trying to learn the same thing as Mitsuki, and Mitsuki could be used as a mentor figure, similar in the same way that Naruto was a mentor figure to Konohamaru. Naruto and Konohamaru are from the same generation. A lot of people miss that. They're from the same generation. It's just that Naruto's a few years older than Konohamaru. So, I mean, when you look at that fact, you could kind of retell this whole scenario. And what I really love about this is it would give Mitsuki's character an opportunity to grow, but you'd have a new character going through those same issues of what does it mean to have a heart? What does it mean to have a soul? What does it mean to be human? And when you have that, and then you have that character see how Sakura interacts with Sarada, how Sasuke interacts with Sarada, how Naruto interacts with Himawari, and how he interacts with Boruto, and then he thinks back to how his father, so the original Shin, was going through and dissecting all of the Shin Uchiha in order to give himself organs. You could have a real internal conflict there. And what makes storytelling so good, what makes really good storytelling, is when you have an external conflict and an internal conflict and they play off each other. They work off each other. It'd be something really cool if we see that, and if we see Naruto at that point make one of those shins of Konoha Ninja and he starts to form his own identity. It'd be really cool to see that. It'd be really cool. I know a lot of people think and theorize and speculate that the Shin Uchiha are going to be the secret army that Naruto uses when the Souichi clan comes to Earth, and it's possible. It's possible. I'm not displaying or downplaying that scenario, and some people are saying, well, maybe they're going to be the Anbus or something, or maybe they're going to be used to repopulate the Uchiha clan. I don't know. I know a lot of people ship Sarada with Shin Uchiha, but what I would really love to see is one of these shins have that identity crisis, and then where it gets resolved and they have their own personality, they have their own wants and desires and needs, and they work through everything. Maybe have a moment where they confront Orochimaru and we get that small subplot where we see Orochimaru facing the fact that with Shin and with I can't remember the name of, I cussed too, didn't mean to cuss, but where you had Mitsuki's brother, I cannot remember his name, it starts with an L, but where you had Mitsuki's brother watching over everything, and you have Orochimaru come face to face with the fact that he's created life, and these are beings that have their own wants and desires, and Orochimaru starts looking at them as more human beings. He still looks at Mitsuki as a bit of science, but he also looks at him as a son as well. And to see Shin Uchiha with the same thing, it would be really good to see more character development for Orochimaru. But I want to know what you guys think. How do you think Shin Uchiha should be brought back in the series? Give me your best scenario for how this should be done. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, share. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of the video, guys. Have an incredible day.